Hello, hello, hello. Today we'll be talking about adjusting entries, what it is, how it works, and when it occurs in accounting. Adjusting journal entries are entries made in the general journal to record revenues that have been earned but not recorded and expenses that have been incurred but not recorded. This is the accrual basis of accounting and involves the application of the revenue recognition principle and the matching principle. The process of recording and posting entries occurs at the end of each accounting period after the trial balance is prepared. They all arise as the exchange of cash does not always coincide with the earning of revenue or incurrence of expense. Therefore, cash is never affected in adjusting journal entries. There are 4 scenarios in the realm of adjusting entries. These are deferred revenue, accrued revenue, deferred expense, and accrued expense. First of all, deferred revenue is when a business receives cash before the revenue is earned. For example, Coffee Lawyers is prepaid $1 million for legal services to be completed in November. By the end of November, the service is completed. Therefore, you debit unearned revenue as it is a liability and credit service revenue. Secondly, accrued revenue is when the business receives cash after the service is provided. This occurs when the customer is not billed or invoiced until after the work is complete. For example, Cork Plumbers performs a service on the 18th of October and receives payment on the 10th of November. Therefore, at the end of the month, you debit accounts receivable as it is an asset and credit service revenue as it has a normal credit balance. Deferred expense is where cash is paid before the expense is incurred. Now, for example, Steve prepays 12 months of rent for $38,000 in October. Now, firstly, what we do is find the rent for 1 month, which would be 38,000 divided by 12, which becomes 3,166 for the month. In November, after 1 month's rent has been used up, you debit rent expense and credit prepaid rent as it is an asset and it is being used up. Finally, accrued expense is where cash is paid after the expense has been incurred. Now, for example, Charlie's Burgers incurs $1,000 of electricity expense for the month of November, but does not pay this until December. So what you do is debit electricity expense and credit accounts payable. And that's a wrap. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope this has been helpful.